Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's well. I had a very relaxing weekend. I also went and visited a lightworker friend. Well, video chatted with a lightworker friend and got myself cleansed and healed. I'm better feeling. I'm able to face the day a little better. Honestly, I'm pretty tired. It's a lot of work clearing out your chakras and getting the gunk out that you gather up all day and all month, all week, all, you know. So, this Daily Gab is going to be about a subject matter that is a little controversial, and a lot of people believe that there's no such thing. Well, I'm here to say that there is such thing as spousal, also known as domestic abuse. I have had experiences in this to a very extreme extent, and I am not afraid or ashamed to say that, you know, I have friends, and I have witnessed this sort of thing of all ages and all kinds of relationships. I have a friend. I have a friend that did go through with it with her partner. That it was very domineering. It was, you know, they didn't trust. Well, the other spouse didn't trust her, and the other spouse had every reason not to trust her because, you know, the evidence was there. She caught her. So, yeah. But, I want to touch base on the different forms of it and the severity of it. So, I have a friend who, you know, once upon a time when we were younger, we dated and we realized, hey, this isn't going to work out. So, we split apart. He got with another woman, and he fell in love with her really hard. Basically, they got married and had kids. 2 kids. And even though, you know, I know him well enough to know what he is capable of and what he does and what he can do. His wife lies about him, and it's cost him relationships with his family. It's cost him a good relationship, the possibility of a decent relationship with his kids, and this whole thing has costed him I don't know how many jobs. Because when you are in a relationship and you're abused, your confidence, your self-confidence plummets. He stopped talking to me because she's jealous, insecure, and she doesn't trust him. I know for a fact that this man does not cheat. When I was with him, no. He doesn't have it in his heart to do that. He doesn't. Sure, he has his issues, but he would, before it would get so bad, he would turn to drinking. And I have worked really hard talking to him before him and her got back together. Because they've been on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. And those poor kids, when you're in a situation like that, your kids are watching, they're listening more than you give them credit for. And all she wants to do is say, my kids are taken care of. Your kids may be taken care of and may not want for nothing, but there is other things to consider. The mental and emotional health of those kids. Because when they're around that toxicity and they're around that hatefulness between mother and father or spouses, it hurts them because they think, oh, this is normal. This is how married life is like. And you don't know if the kids are going to either be just like that or be the exact opposite of that or just avoid it entirely. Now, from the get-go, at first, when I first ever met this one woman, she was a pretty good friend, she was nice. But then all of a sudden, when it came to guys, when it came to the subject matter of guys and men or whatever, of men, she would flat out tell us while we would sit around and be, swapping drinks and, just kicking it back. This is back when I was younger. And just go on about, I would ask, deep questions when I would be drinking. I'd be like, so what do we want to do with our future? And what she said was, I want to get pregnant once or twice from the same guy, and I really don't want to marry him because I just want his money. And I'm like, that from the get-go is not a healthy way to look at any kind of relationship. That's using somebody. When you're constantly using somebody and you treat them like crap, you call them lazy, you call them this, that, and the other, when in actuality, this guy has a medical condition. A medical condition that makes him go to the bathroom for a few times. The details are not, the details are not that important. Especially on his medical condition. But bottom line is, there's nothing I can really do because he wants so badly to have a relationship with his kids. Because when he grew up, his parents split too. He wants to be a good dad. And that's all he really wants. That was the only happiness that I can recall that he was really happy about. Swear to God. He has depression problems. He turns to drinking. Because when he drinks, he just doesn't care anymore. As a friend, I'm terrified that I'm going to lose another friend to alcoholism, substance, or suicide. When I tried to tell the abuser, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, men can get abused in relationships too. We have this, me, manly man, I feel no feelings facade for guys. When in actuality, a lot of guys feel more than a lot of women. True thing. It breaks my heart. Because not all guys are bad. Oh, but a lot of women do play the victim card. And you know what? I, as a woman, am tired of hearing it. Because whenever I do go a little snooping and investigation, 9 times out of 10, there's nothing wrong with the guy. And the problems mostly are in the woman's head. I can't tell you how many times in school alone, these girls would get really mad because a guy didn't find them appealing, and they would accuse them of sexual harassment or rape. And these guys would have this crap stick with them, and they would have to leave the state to go to college in order to have some form of relationship with somebody, because some other girl got mad for some reason and just screamed molestation or rape. This is something that a lot of us don't want to talk about. I mean, my own husband was in 2 different kinds of abusive relationships before he got with me. 2 injured and scared people got together and love happened. Because by the time he found me, I was in little pieces and scared to death of anything. I was scared of a relationship. I was afraid of being vulnerable, weak, taken advantage of. He never did that. He dated a girl that freaked out and threw a knife and actually stabbed him with a knife in the back. True story. And he had another one that was mentally and emotionally abusive too. Yeah. There was no sex in that relationship, but just mental and emotional abuse. Basically, baby me, cater me, wah, wah, wah. I'll make you pay for not doing what I want, when I want, how I want it. The other one just cheated on him and randomly would go psycho. Now, I'm not saying I hate women. It's just we have the possibility, and society is geared more towards us now. We have power now, and a lot of us don't know what to do with it. A lot of us abuse it. You know, when a couple divorces, and this really gets me. The woman is heard more so than the father. If the mother is just is really bad and actually just wants the kids as a quote-unquote meal ticket, I can't tell you how many times I would see a lot of fathers who I'm actually happen to be friends with would downright be gutted financially to the point where they can't even afford food for 3 days. They can't afford a cell phone. They lose their home, and they almost damn near lose their car. And they can't make enough money to survive because mommy says that I need money for childcare, I need money for clothes, I need money for food. What about you get a job and you start applying for some state benefits? Because I know they exist. I know that they don't really need the man's money to do what they've got to do. And as for child care, most of these women use their parents or their friends that they know and have them watch the kids. And they use that extra money. Yeah, I really do feel like mothers with child support coming to them should really show proof of receipts and turn in the receipts at the end of the month or quarterly, every quarterly. Or here's a better thing. How about going to counseling and try to work your stuff out between you two? Because if you genuinely don't love somebody, your relationship is not going to work. It takes trust, communication, and love for any relationship to survive. Trust, communication, and love. If you don't have any one of these, your relationship tricycle is going to have a busted wheel, and it's not going anywhere but maybe in a circle. Same problems every time. Now, and what really got me is what I'm having trouble understanding is when I confronted the abusive spouse, and I said, both of y'all need to go to therapy. He wants to go to therapy. He's got depression problems. He's more than once mentioned killing himself, and I've talked him out of it. I've mentioned that to her, and she said, he ain't got no problems. He ain't got no problems. In a relationship, you're supposed to take consideration of each other's health and feelings. That's not happening. And whenever I mentioned both of them getting therapy, she's like, you're telling me I need to go get therapy. I said, both of y'all. You're telling me I need to go get therapy. Both. B-O-T-H. Both of y'all. Him and you. Go together. I mean, those are not hard words to, work in your head. Both of y'all. Both. Both means more than one. Just saying. And then when someone takes blame and puts it on one partner entirely, that is a cry for help. Psychologically, there is something wrong with that person that wants to just blame, oh, I take care of my kids, I'm Superwoman, my kids are taking care of my kids. Yay, hooray, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're being a mother. Congratulations. I am so freaking proud of you that you are capable of caring for somebody else other than yourself. Bravo. But what about the husband? What about the father of those kids? He should matter too. A woman's life is not all that hard anymore. It is 2018. We need to wake up and start at least being decent human beings to each other. It's not all men's fault, and it's not all the women's fault. We just got a lot of sick people running around here trying to be normal, and they're failing miserably at it. And raising kids while you got your problems are going to make more sick people out in this world. Fix the problem. Fix the frickin' problem, alright? Start with yourself. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm getting agitated about this because as an empath, I feel what those kids are going through, but you obviously are not even the least bit empathetic, because when your husband is on the download trying to get help, going on Facebook pages where people talk together and they're supportive of each other, and he's talking about hurting himself and wanting to not wake up one day and all will be over, and you, his wife, your spouse, does not even know, nor do you care. In fact, you make fun of him for it. I find it funny that you're saying that I need help. Not just you, both of y'all. From all the psychology I've studied, she exhibits bipolar disorder, among other things, and likes to play victim all the time. Like, oh, woe is me, like, my life is so hard, all he does is drink, when in actuality, I know for a fact he quit drinking, and you're just making up stuff. You only know one side, Honey, I don't need to know any side to know that how mental you are. She wants to get mad people want to get mad when they post things on social media, when you should go to therapy and get help for your problems. Being upset is not a normal thing to go through every damn day. We're not meant to stay upset all the time. We're not. And when you start attacking people about, I did a live on Facebook talking about, marriage advice and let love flow. Basically, it's marriage advice. It's advice for relationships and marriage. My husband and I, we have a very amazing relationship. We talk to each other. We have open communication. We trust each other. And we genuinely just love being around each other. I tell you. There are times where I tell him, hey, I know you got friends. I'm sure they missed you. Why don't you go hang out with them? He's like, oh, I just want to spend time with you. And I'm like, okay. He does it to me too. He's like, hey, why don't you have a girls' night out? You sure? I just kind of want to spend time with you. And he's like, okay. And it's the kind of relationship I've always ever dreamed of, because I knew healthy, loving relationships existed. I did grow up in a family where there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments, and emotional and some physical abuse. But I didn't let it define me. I knew better relationships existed. I mean, I saw it, I would hear about it, and I would see it on TV when I was a kid, and I knew somewhere there were good relationships out there without any hardcore fighting. I knew it existed. But when you attack somebody making a post or a live about, genuinely wanting to help people, there's something really wrong inside somebody's heart and soul when they attack you for just being worried and wanting to help and concerned. I find it funny. I personally do not find mental and emotional health funny. I do not find it funny. Not in the least bit. Depression is not funny. Depression can kill. Bullying can kill. Abuse can kill. You know that rice experiment where you have one jar of rice with water that you say good things to, and another jar with rice in the middle beside it with water that you ignore, and the last one, jar of rice with water beside that one that you say horrible, mean things to? Experiment was done. Also, it works on houseplants too, where the one that you say good things to flourishes, and it doesn't, it just stays white and it doesn't mold. The one in the middle gets all brown and nasty. The one that you say horrible things to gets black and moldy. Within the same time frame of all these, it shows that your emotions and your words can make or break a person. Negativity is abuse. Believe it or not, if you treat let's say a retail worker really badly and you cuss them out, call them idiots and stupid, that's a form of abuse. It is. And it's been normalized, and it shouldn't be. I combat it with positivity. I am stubbornly positive, and I stay this way. I refuse to let one person give me one bad moment to make it a one bad day. So if you know somebody that is going through something like this, especially if it's a guy and a woman, please tell them you don't deserve this. Nobody deserves it. Even the person that's doing the abuse. They deserve to be happy too. Believe it or not. They deserve to be happy too. Everyone deserves some kind of peace and happiness. And if the relationship is just not working out and it's nothing but yelling and fighting and pain. It's time to go your separate ways. And if you have kids involved, you gotta cut your losses. I'm sorry to say that. Maybe later on, you can try to be in their life. Just keep tabs. Keep tabs. It'll be okay. So that's all I have time for today. And I wish we all have a really good day today. Be safe. And please, let's be the change we wish to see in the world. Love and light to you all.